Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Better, a show about two longtime friends trying their best, growing up, and hopefully getting better. I'm Zach Johnson.
And I'm Sam Cherry.
Hey, Sam, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm also doing great. Right before the show, Sam had some news about working out a kink in his animation, and it had the word stomp in it. So for the last several minutes, I have been looking up Stomp. And if you guys don't remember Stomp, they were a group of people that your music teacher would put in like a VHS player.
Sure.
And it was the ones that had, they would just they would clang garbage cans together.
Right.
And just like make a bunch of noise, but out of like street objects. And they're apparently they're really affected by the outbreak that's happened because a bunch of their shows are canceled. And I'm starting to think that their shows are canceled because no one has really thought about Stomp in a while.
Right. They re-updated their website where it previously said. Right now it says effective immediately, our shows are canceled because of coronavirus, as opposed to the old update. Effective immediately, they're canceled because we have not sold a ticket in 12 years. Thanks. Good. Yeah, for sure. Stomp. Yeah, it's the coronavirus. That's why no one's going.
Stomp is really, really hit the hardest by this. Like I like to imagine they were like just in the middle of their second wave. Like
Right.
People were starting to be like, I wonder what Stomp's up to.
Right.
And now this has happened. They're like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's everyone's dad explaining to him that the joke on Bob's Burgers where it's like patty cake, and they're like, I don't understand what it's like. Oh well, okay, so a long time ago there was this thing. It was called Stomp. It's like that. Oh, maybe we'll go see that, like Bob's Burgers. Like no, sorry, we can't. They had all those, but the coronavirus, we can't go see it anymore.
I like to imagine Stomp is just like, I think what they like. I think when they're pitching themselves, they're like, have you seen the Blue Man Group? We're like the gorilla version of that. We're like the down to earth in the streets version of that. We don't use props and things in order to make our sound. We use real life objects and things you can do at home if you just happen to have 12 garbage lids.
I'm laughing at imagining someone trying to convince me to go to a Stomp show, which I'm sure is good. They did performances. I'm sure it's good, but just like, what's the pitch? Like, oh yeah, let's go watch these people on a stage slam garbage together and smash on garbage cans for an hour and a half. Like, nah, man, I don't think I'm gonna go to that. Actually, that sounds the thing that people do to get your attention and be super loud and annoying in movies. What if that was a performance? They just bang on garbage lids. Like, yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm okay with not doing that.
I wonder if they have I wonder if Stomp is like Cirque du Soleil, where they do new stuff, or like, are they doing the same Stomp they've been doing since like the 90s?
Oh, so they take like old Lime scooters that have been broken down and they smash them together, like broken lime, or like those hoverboards, and they ride around them and they catch on fire and they juggle burning hoverboards.
Yeah, or like, I like to imagine it would be like a businessman and he would come on stage and they'd have that little whistle sound effect you get when someone tweets at you, and then it would have a little whistle sound, and he'd pull out his phone and go, and it's gonna be like him like typing on his phone, and then like that becomes the rhythm section, and then he like rips off his suit and he is wearing the dirtiest tank top you've ever seen, and he is like,
and it says resist on it.
Yes. Yeah. That is the new modern Stomp. Oh man, I can't wait, man. Whenever this is all over, I'm booking a chance to go see Stomp.
Okay, maybe they could take Apple Pencils and drum on iPads instead. But it's just a bunch of old I don't know why in my head it all has to be garbage, but I don't know anything about Stomp except the garbage cans, and that makes me think it all has to be like garbage or like brooms or something like that. And so they're all like broken iPads and like broken Apple Pencils, but they're drumming with those.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's like, I think the way they always try to stick to their roots. And I think their roots was like two out of work New York City dancers were like on the stoop one day.
Right.
And then they were just like, let's just clang some stuff together.
Yeah.
And then they clanged together a performance piece. But see, the thing about Stomp and like it's not a musical. Like, you know, it's not like if you go see Cats, you're seeing Cats. You're seeing the same Cats that everyone else has seen. They're not updating it. There's no, you know, one of the Cats that is like like an Alex Jones or right wing conspiracy cat. Like they're not updating Cats.
Now this is the new Broadway musical based on the hit film Cats. Yes.
Yes. They're making a show out of it.
Oh, that's good. Good for them.
Yeah. So like they are, it's not a show. Like I imagine they do. I think they do the trash can thing. They do the broom thing. But I bet there's like people in there like we can't keep getting stale. You know?
Right. Yeah. Now wait a minute. Now here's what I'm thinking about the Blue Man Group, because I don't know anything about the Blue Man Group outside of Arrested Development. Don't they also bang on trash? Like you're saying it's like the group Blue Man Group, but other than being painted blue, how are they different?
So the Blue Man Group, I think they have like specific props that they use. Like they're more like, we're aliens and this is our alien technology. It makes a bloop bloop noise. And so I think they have like a bunch of pipes and they have like
they don't bang on trash cans.
No. They have like specific props that they use to make certain sounds. So they are like making their own stuff for the purpose of that. Whereas Stomp is, they have regular everyday things, but they're using those to make music. And I'm saying music like it's not just like a rinky-dink drum line section.
Right.
So here's
what I'm thinking of is this picture, and I've got pictures of the Blue Man Group up. And they are drumming on like oil barrels, and then paint is flying everywhere. I think that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do for instruments, but yeah, or like they've got drum sets with paint on it. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. So I just happened across some information that I think is gonna blow up our entire spot.
Okay. Our spot.
Okay. Not our spot. The spot. The Stomp spot.
Got it.
So when you look up the names of the actors, they all have character names. Like this is Rob Brinkman, and he is playing the role of Ringo.
Okay.
This is Bree Butler. She is playing Cornish. And my favorite, Kayla Kowalt, and she is playing Ben Bitch.
Oh.
I did not make that up.
Now wait a minute.
They have other characters. There are several actors playing Ringo. There are several actors playing Cornish. There are several actors playing Mozzie, Sarge, and Potato Head. So I think those are understudies.
Oh, that makes sense. And there's tour performances. I'm on the Stop website as well.
And if you look at this, the website here, there's Doctor Who. There's another Doctor Who, but it's DR Doctor Who. There's another Ben Bitch. There is Ringo Particle Man. Like, what? So
I'm on the timeline. So now I'm going through their timeline, which is
I think it might be a show. Like, do you think it has like lines and stuff? Are they like?
I don't know. Doctor Who's in it, so that's cool.
Yeah, Doctor Who. That's that's only for the touring shows. So they have a science fiction element where Doctor Who comes out in his TARDIS. And he is like, "What's all this?" And then it's like, "Stomp."
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I wonder if it's like In the Heights where they have like, you know, they have lines and stuff where it's like, "Oh, come on, Sarge, we gotta go
bang these brooms together. Well, we're gonna lose the rec center." Here's what's fucked up is like we as a joke are gonna go watch Stomp together and then come back and be like, guys, we were so wrong. It's the greatest musical.
We're gonna have Stomp T-shirts, and it's like this show is not sponsored by, but we will continue to bring up Stomp.
Yeah,
we will like
fucked up and love Stomp.
We will always be talking about Stomp, and just like we'll be, you know, like there's Deadheads, we'll be, you know, Stompers or whatever.
Stompers,
we will go on tour with them just to see Stomp.
That's wild.
Every show's different, guys. You gotta if you wanna have the full experience, every show is different.
Oh my gosh. We'll get a van, we'll travel around, it'll be great.
Our van will have like garbage lids like welded to the side of it so people know that we are with we are with the band.
We're the Stompers. We're like, those are the Stompers, they've got their van.
There's the Stompers, the world famous Stompers.
We become famous for our traveling podcast, and also we'll start a Stomp fan cast where like Particle Man was really, really bringing it tonight. It was really amazing.
Yeah. And it's like, and we might get an interview with Mozzie tonight. Yeah. So that's those are things to look forward to when this is all over.
Oh right. Yeah. This.
Yeah, our new career as traveling stompers.
Yeah. So I want to clarify something from last week because I listened back to it. I'm pretty sure, not that it matters and anyone cares, I'm pretty sure my family wasn't stealing HBO. Okay, so I did some research. Apparently, what had happened is we got a free like week of HBO in like 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And then they never turned it off. And my dad was like, yeah, I called them and told them that it was still here after like a month of like, hey, we just have HBO. What's up? Because I listened back to it, I was like, this story doesn't seem terribly true. Like, it doesn't just seem like my family to steal cable like that. Something about that. And when I heard it back on the recording, I was like, no, wait a minute. What? That doesn't make sense. So apparently that's what happened. For what it's worth.
So in our new segment, Clarify Corner, we go back and listen to old episodes, and we say clarifying things.
Oh yeah, I mean I say so every week. Like I think last week also I said something where I was like, you know, my hot takes, like it's just the flu, and I was like, man, I wish I had made it clear.
Yeah,
that I was wrong, and that I've revised that opinion, and that I said that like 8 weeks ago. But you know, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. That's back at Clarify Corner.
Back at Clarify Corner.
One of our most used segments.
Yes, and that's a great segue into our newest segment.
Ooh.
Script Doctor.
Is anyone a doctor?
Now, Zach, this is a new segment I'd like to introduce to you where we find a NBC sitcom that was tragically cut short in its prime after one season. Now, what we're going to do is I have prepared 3, just depending on how long.
I was literally just typing in like NBC sitcoms one season.
Don't worry. Oh, it's hey, you know what the thing is? While preparing for this, most of them. There is an enormous list, and most of them. Okay, sorry. Let me get back to the premise. So, we're gonna find a NBC sitcom that lasted one season that was tragically cut short in its prime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read you the premise, and then you and I will, go back and maybe change a couple of the elements, maybe work with the last episode, kind of see what we can do to doctor it up and get it greenlit for a second season. So we're going to pitch.
All right. Maybe
we have to change. I don't know. This is the first time we're doing this. Maybe we have to change the last episode. Maybe we have to change a little bit about what's going on all the way through. Maybe we just pitch a great season 2 and the execs pick it up.
Okay.
But I've got 3 for you, just depending on how far we get. All right. So our first script that we're going to work with is the NBC sitcom Cursed. This came out in 2000. So let me read you the Wikipedia synopsis of the show. The show is notable for having an abrupt title change in the middle of its first season. The initial premise was that the protagonist, Weber, had been cursed by an ex-girlfriend and thus constantly encountered bad luck. The show failed to find an audience, so midway through the season, the entire bad luck angle was abruptly dropped. The show was revamped as a more traditional sitcom and renamed The Weber Show.
What?
Just halfway through, they just said the whole premise, fuck it. Different show, different premise. It's called The Weber Show now. In spite of... This is a little editorializing by the Wikipedia editor. In spite of the change, or perhaps because of it, the show still struggled and was canceled at the end of the second season, leaving on a cliffhanger unresolved. The show's theme song was written. Okay. Here's some more details about the show Cursed before we get into it. Okay. Every episode is titled, and then blah, 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 blah. Like, and then he bought her Linguini, which I think was the first episode, right? They're all like that. And then he da-da-da-da-da. Except, inexplicably, the last 2 episodes, which are called Jumping Jack's Rash and Dog Eat Dog. Now, I bring that up because it ends on a cliffhanger, and the last episode is called Dog Eat Dog, but I have absolutely no idea what happens in the episode. So,
oh my gosh.
That's where we're at. He was cursed about halfway through the show. He was not cursed, and now it's the Weber show. But unfortunately, the vultures at NBC cut this beautiful, beautiful show short after one season. So, what are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Okay, so well, first I just want to read. I found the Wikipedia, and I want to read just the kind of the synopsis of the first episode.
Okay.
A blind date puts a hex on Jack, who comes to believe that her spell may be working. And then, the last episode is Jack gets a dog to impress a woman.
How did it get canceled? It seems so good. So here's what I'm thinking. Let me we'll throw some stuff at the wall. All right. First off the top of my head, what if the curse comes back? Okay.
Okay.
Right? That seems obvious. Maybe just get our bad ideas out first. Let me just throw that at the,
Yeah.
Set that on the table.
Yeah, nothing bad in the brainstorming session.
The curse comes back. Dog eat dog. Does the dog eat that lady? Maybe.
So now this is actually a great way to get in one of my favorite shows of all time, and it's just a show that I've been itching to talk about forever. And this is the way that we can fuse these two ideas together.
Okay.
Have you heard of the show 100 Good Deeds for Eddie McDowd? Of
course, where he turns into a dog. Perfect.
Okay. So
Great
for those
idea.
of you that don't know, only 90 kids will remember. Not 90s kids, only 90 kids will remember. And Sam and I are two of them.
Yeah.
Yes. So there was a show called The 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd, and it was about this bully who was turned into a dog by a wizard, and he had to do 100 good deeds as a dog in order to get turned back into a human.
Yes.
Which is bananas, because how many, and like he could talk, but only to one person.
Right.
And I think it was like either his brother or someone that he bullied. And two problems with this premise. Number one, how are you supposed to do 100 good deeds as a dog?
Yeah, you're a dog.
Besides like, barking when someone falls down a well.
Right.
Two, your kid is gone.
He's dead. Just totally dead.
Gone. This, because 100 deeds, that's going to take probably more than 100 days, maybe. Like a good deed a day. You're doing a lot of brainstorming, finding out what to do as a dog.
Sure.
You, for a good section of the year, you're gone. And I don't think they addressed that very much, or maybe they did. I don't know. I didn't really watch the show. It was kind of on.
Sure.
But their parents are like, our kid's gone, and you cannot come back after that time. You can't be like, oh, hey, what's up? As it turns out, I was a dog the whole time.
Yeah.
Whoopsie, but like, we're back now. I was a bad kid. A wizard turned me into a dog, and now I'm a good kid.
Sure.
And also, how you supposed, like, there's no way that you can come back from that. You can't relate to people anymore.
Okay.
That your relating to people days are over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm also on the Wikipedia of 100 Good Deeds of Eddie McDowd because I wanted to see, hey, does he get to deed number 0? I think I see where you're going, and I see how this can stitch into the show Cursed, because the 40th episode of the total show of season 3, but the 40th episode is called Lost and Found Deed 60, which means he does not ever get to deed 1. It counts down.
No. Yes, of course it does. So,
and then the last part is Lost and Found and Dead. Does the dog die in 100 Good Deeds of Eddie McDowd? Who knows?
Wait, who knows?
But maybe that can work.
Here's what we do know. For seasons 2 and 3, the theme song was "Who Let the Dogs Out" by the Baha Men.
That's very cool.
So we kind of know what this show was about.
But he stays a dog forever. They never get to the end. We never find out what happens to Eddie McDowd. They're just like, Lost and Found, Deed 60, found and dead. Okay, I guess the dog's dead now and he never becomes a human again? I don't know. That's not what's important. What's important is how do we get Cursed back on the air? Season 2.
We get Cursed back. So a way we get Cursed back on the air is We do not know what the cliffhanger is, but we can only assume the cliffhanger is the dog talks, and the dog is like, "I'm Eddie McDowd,
Sure.
and
We'll get both our favorite shows back on the air.
I'm Eddie McDowd, and I have a proposition for
I
you.
have 59 good deeds left to do.
Cut to black.
Yes.
And then so because he gets lost,
shit.
he gets lost, right? That we know that from the episode, lost and found, and
Found and dead.
Found and dead. We'll get to that one in a moment.
Okay.
that one might be a part of the extended universe. We might make that one non-canon.
Maybe he switches with another bully, and then an even worse bully becomes the dog, and then he's in the bully's body, and then the dog dies. I don't want the dog to die either way, I guess.
No,
All
no,
right,
no, no,
yeah,
no.
and then it gets mixed up with this whole thing. All right, never mind. Well, you know what? He finds a dead body and saves.
So
and they solve a murder.
yeah.
I don't know, something.
So yeah. That's we can get.
We'll figure it out later.
Because this show's taken off. Obviously,
cursed.
we're like,
Doggy
and
talks.
so
the dog talks,
so yes, dog talks, and
and it impresses
like,
the girl a lot.
yeah, it impresses the girl a lot. But so what if the dog knows about the hex? So
Okay.
the dog is like, so it's not a you help me. It's we're in a partnership where the way to overturn this spell and my spell is for you to help me become a human.
Okay.
And then it kind of flips into like a sequel series to the 100 Good Deeds of Eddie McDowd, but it also still gets to keep all of these amazing
Sure.
episodes that we're losing out on in
Yes.
Charmed. Like
It's called Cursed, not Charmed, but yes, Charmed is a different
well,
television show.
Yeah, so we lose out on like episodes like where did it go? It was so stupid.
Can I suggest that the sequel series be called The 59 Remaining Good Deeds of Eddie McDowell?
Yes, the 59 remaining good deeds of Eddie McDowell and Weber. And then
Yeah,
pretty
perfect.
soon it's Eddie and Weber.
Yeah.
And
They already changed
that's
it once. Who cares?
Exactly. Like I didn't even know that was allowed. I didn't know that
didn't
midway
either.
through a show. Because the other thing about that is like if you're changing it midway through, and I guess that they're dropping the whole like
Premise.
cursed thing, you know, like does that mean they shot 2 seasons? Does that mean they shot did they edit out all the witchy stuff, or did
Right.
they while filming Curse where they're like, oof, this one's not going well, guys, and then they started to kind of change angles.
Yeah, well, from what I
Um,
understand from my extensive research of canceled NBC sitcoms, apparently like 3 episodes into a show, like they'll make like 6 episodes, and then like I don't remember which one. We'll probably get to it, but there was like they made 6 episodes. After 3 episodes, the ratings dropped by 50%. It was canceled the next day. So they just, I mean, it's a quick process where it's just like, oh, that one didn't go well. Now your show's gone. A lot of these shows that we're going to be saving for Script Doctor are shows that went about like mid-season. Like they got like halfway into the season, got chucked, and then another show would come in to replace for the rest of the mid-season. But this is the first one that I've seen where it's the same DNA of the show. Like it's the same characters.
Yeah, where the show got replaced by its own self.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, NBC.
Okay. So
Curse
yes.
is the 59 remaining good deeds of Eddie McDowd, and that way you can kind of you can bring back the cursed elements. You can bring back a much beloved show that was they were being aired around the same time. So that's the crossover event of the century. People are looking for that.
Yeah,
and
after Endgame, they're just ready. They're hungry for it. They want it.
And you can finally, because I think the one thing about it, Eddie McDowd was a Disney Channel show,
Sure.
and it was like where's the sauce?
Yeah.
Like where's is this show taking place in the real world? Like where's I don't want it to be like smutty, but I want I want my room to have a little bit of filth in it.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
we can finally have episodes where Eddie McDowd is
The dog.
like Eddie McDowd, yes, the dog is helping his friend Jack, quote, impress his lesbian friend Katie,
Now,
which is
yeah.
in a premise in the show. I keep wanting to say Charmed. It is not Charmed.
Yeah, that probably had more than one season. So here's the thing
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Jack. The show is about Weber. His name is Steven Weber. Oh wait,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
so-
wait a minute, wait a
so
minute, wait a minute.
So I'm thinking this might be like, okay, first of
No,
all,
it's way weirder than what you're thinking. Okay, Steven Weber is the actor. Jack is the character.
Wait.
The Weber Show, which was about so wait a minute. The show Cursed was about Jack Nagley? I don't know. Nagle. You don't care. Anyway, it's about Jack. Then midway through the show, they rebranded it The Weber Show, which is the last name of the actor who plays Jack.
Yeah.
But Jack, the character, like episode 14, Jack is torn between Larry and Katie when each makes demands of his time. So The Weber Show doesn't contain... It's not like The Cosby Show. Wait, well, his last name's not Cosby.
I think it is like The Cosby Show.
It is like The Cosby Show.
It's a Cosby Show situation where I think they were banking on the fame of Steven Weber, who was in Wings. So I think they were trying to trick some people.
Okay.
They were trying to bring him over. They were trying to get that really elusive Wings market crowd.
Yeah. And then he had a reoccurring role on iZombie. There you go. That's also... Steven Weber's had a big career, I guess.
Steven Weber.
That makes a little bit more sense. Because what I was wondering is I'm looking at all of these premises for all these shows, and this guy Jack just keeps coming up, and I'm like, why is Jack the main character when Steven Weber is our main character? They're the same guy.
The same guy.
I think that's good. I think they'll take it, and I'll send it off to my guys, and they will send our pitch to NBC. Let's do one more. I will tell you, I was going alphabetically, so our first 3 options, I only got to the C's. There are a lot of NBC shows that only lasted 1 season.
And that's the thing about NBC that's interesting, because like when you see TV shows like on NBC, like you remember like Your Office, Parks and Recreation, like even like Friends or like Seinfeld, like monster hits. And like you don't think about the other shows that like so many shows they get pitched and then they do like a few episodes and then that's it. That's the end of it.
Well, the reason I picked NBC is because I remember this premise came out of remembering the show The Slap. I don't know if you remember The Slap.
Yes, The Slap. With that show had Zachary Quinto or whatever his name is. He plays Spock, and I remember that was like one of his roles outside of Star Trek, and I was like, what is going on?
Well, it was a mini series, but I don't know if it was a mini because there's also a trailer for The Slap 2. Whoa, maybe not. This might be a gag video. Okay, I don't know. It's called The Slap, and it looks terrible, and they played it during the Super Bowl, and I thought, wow, that show looks awful. Whoever made that, they're the kind of people who I want to know what they're greenlighting. Like, if we're going to do, what network has a bunch of garbage premises that are going to get canceled? Whoever made The Slap, it was NBC. So that's how we landed on the NBC. Maybe we can expand out, but for now, that's where we're at.
Holy Moses. Okay, The Slap is
Uma
based
Thurman.
Yeah, The Slap is based on an Australian series called The Slap, which is based on a book.
I gotta watch this show. See, we're gonna end up watching this entire.
Exactly, we're gonna become slappers and stompers by the end of all
but
this.
Maybe we'll. Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll spend some time. We'll come back and we will try to figure out how to get
Slap back.
Slap 2, the Slapping.
Yeah. Yeah, slap 2, slap back.
But for now, we're not talking about The Slap. We are talking about the 2014 show A to Z, which was cut short after only 1 season. Let me read you the premise to this American comedy series. The story follows the lives of Andrew, an employee at an internet dating site who dreams of meeting the girl of his dreams. Honestly, that's not on the show. That's on Wikipedia. But an internet dating site who dreams of meeting the girl of his dreams. And Zelda, the no-nonsense...
Stop.
That's her name. Her name's Zelda.
Zelda?
It's Andrew and Zelda.
Okay. Okay. I knew when you said Andrew,
Yeah.
I knew it's like, okay, that's A,
And
and
then-
then there's Z. Like there's got to be a Z. And my brain, because my name is Zach, and I know a good bit of the Z names. Like
Zoe.
I'm pretty, I'm pretty like Z. Yeah, Zoe was the one I thought of, but also like if you're taking an even like more like if you're taking even more like out there take, it would be like Zarina
Sure.
or something. Not you. I never would have said Zelda. That would never have come. Okay, please continue.
Or perhaps making the Z name Zach and picking from dozens
Amy.
of A names for girls. But no, they went with Zelda. So she is a no-nonsense lawyer raised by a hippie mother who carries a rebellious streak.
Who
by an-
loves video games?
By an accidental chance of fate, Zelda meets Andrew to resolve a mismatched dating dispute, and these two single people suddenly find themselves falling for each other. From there, the series chronicles the relationship timeline, quote, from A to Z, and is narrated by... Okay, some details
So
to know
you-
about the show.
What you just pitched me is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, that's like
I can't believe it got
that.
canceled. So much like the 100 Good Deeds of
Okay,
Ed McDowell,
so-
it has been cut tragically short before we get to the finale because every episode is named A is for acquaintances, yada, yada, yada. You get it. So season 2, the episode we're pitching is N. N is for. That is what our episode has to be titled. N is for something, and we got to move from there. But that is our show, A to Z. Zach, how are we going to fix this for our friends over at NBC?
Okay, so once again, that was so we're at the oh my gosh, they really wrote out the entire plot, didn't
Yeah,
they?
see, here's the thing: is I
Um,
didn't read any. I was sad that the premises for what was the other show? I was sad that the premises for Cursed weren't there because I was more interested in that. And then when I saw
Mhm.
all of the extensive premises for A to Z,
Somebody is really trying to get this show back on. We might be a little late to the game because whomever is running this Wikipedia page is like really trying to put forth the information out there.
well, I will. I have.
yeah,
I've
this is a book.
I've read the summary for M is for Meant to Be, which is the episode that is leading into our new episode N something something something. So basically, Zelda gets, as you do, a law firm job in New York, and then
Mhm.
Andrew lets his ex-girlfriend stay over at their house for a while or something, but she's engaged, so it's fine. They have some fight that's boring, and who cares about? And then in the end, he's leaving a heartfelt message about how he was naive for what he did, but he wasn't trying to trick her, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the message, here, I'll go back to the wiki. Upon finishing the message, he spots her. She's back. They embrace and share a passionate kiss. Blah, 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 some other characters. So that's where we're at. She went to New York to take this job and be like, peace out, goodbye forever. But then he left her this heartfelt message about how he still loved her and she was the only one for him. And then she came back and they kissed. Now, that is a pretty big moment to end on. I haven't read any of the other premises, so I actually don't know if they're dating at any other point in the show. Probably. But that is M is meant for B. We got to figure out what that next episode's called.
Okay.
N.
I have kind of an idea. Okay. So, what saved Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Excessive drinking. No, Matt getting fat.
Matt getting no. But that's a good idea. But in the very beginning, the show was just some rinky-dink operation with a bunch of friends, and what gave it legitimacy was Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito
coming on,
Okay.
and he brought legitimacy to the show, and people began to tune in, just being like, "What's Danny DeVito doing here?" Like, that was like more of that, and then the rest of the actors became very famous. They became more well established, and the show became what it is. But at first, I imagine a lot of viewers were like, what? Danny DeVito, are you okay? What's going on? You're in Matilda. What's happening?
Yeah.
So what I posit is we get an actor to not play a character, but to play themselves.
Yes.
So they come in, and it is Andy, I forgot what his name was, and Zelda, they are now interacting with they move in together. This is the episode where they move in together.
Okay.
And they, the bills are getting pretty high, so they need to get another roommate. And I posit that this new roommate is for Nicolas Cage.
Okay. So we bring in Nicolas Cage into this as himself.
As Nicolas Cage.
As their new roommate, as a long lost uncle. What are we doing? What are we doing with Nick? I like Nick Cage for sure.
I like to imagine that it is because I think the world knows that Nick Cage, after starring in Gone in 60 Seconds, he blew all of his money just buying really fancy cars. Sure. And he started doing a bunch of movies just to try to keep up. And so I want this to be that Nick Cage just lives with them. That Nick Cage they found him through either a Craigslist ad or he was just reached out to them and he needed a place to stay. So what I want this to mirror his actual career. That like he talks about the movies he's done, and as he's doing production for other movies, he is actively talking about them, so that when those movies come out, we will have seen what his thought process is going into them and how he gets into character and how he chooses to act the way that he does.
So it's like an Entourage situation where we see the behind the scenes of Nick Cage making Con Air 2, Conned Air. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll workshop that.
Con Air 2. This time it's on a boat.
Con Air 2 Soul Plane, and he is working. He's reading the scripts. He's talking. He's like, I'm not gonna do a Nick Cage impression, but whatever. He's like, like, Zelda, you don't understand. Like, this time it's on a boat, so we gotta. And he's like, I don't know if I should take this bit, but I really want this Ferrari. And she's like, well, I'm a big lawyer. And so then they've got tension, and then there's an episode where it's like, hey, are we gonna do this thing? And it's like a love triangle between Nick Cage, the guy, and Zelda. And then the movie comes out, and it's Con Air 2, Con's on boats, and there's a line where someone says, have you played that new Breath of a Wild game? And he goes, oh, is that the one with Zelda? He looks at the camera and goes, I love Zelda. And it's a tie-in. Then there's an episode where we see that, and she's like, I love you too.
Yes. And this does the two things, because I think we're getting into why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't work. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was none of the actions that happened there really directly impacted the MCU. It was kind of like background filler stuff. His career is directly related to the TV show and the movies that are coming out. So in order to get the fullness of From A to Z, you have to see those Nick Cage movies. Like, you have to see the Nick Cage movies. Because, like,
you have to watch the TMC documentary.
There will be like decoder ring lines or whatever to understand what's going on, and then that happens in between seasons, and so this is a win-win for everybody.
Now let me give you another. Let's amp this up a little bit. All right, even more. Nick Cage, real actor, comes on to play fictional Nick Cage on A to Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that launches the career of fictional characters, Andrew and Zelda, who are now real people played by these two people, Ben and Kristen. Okay, so then they start living their real lives as Andrew and Zelda, and actually then in real life move in with Nick Cage. So it becomes a documentary.
No, see, and I really feel like this could also this is huge.
Okay.
Like A to Z could be the cultural movement that we've been waiting for, because something that stars are not doing that well, that YouTube celebrities are doing really well, is when YouTube celebrities, they all move into one big house together.
My God.
It's like, it's the Team 10 house, it's the Hype house, it's whatever.
It's the A to
and
Z
they
house.
They do daily vlogs.
Yes.
And then
V is for vlog.
Yes, V. Oh, yes, V is for
vlog.
vlog.
Right there, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. It's obvious. And so that's getting to the end of the alphabet, and that is like, by that time they're a phenomenon.
Honestly,
like A to Z is ending, but it's like that part of their empire is ending. But they have the Nick Cage movies. They have the daily vlogs coming out of the A to Z house, and then pretty soon, as you're trying to think of how are we going to increase this A to Z empire.
Yes.
In that house, the A to Z house, there's going to be 26 people living in that
Oh
house.
my god. Oh, and it's for Nick, and then you've also got like B is for Betty, and it's the character from Riverdale. Now she's in the show. She lives in the B room. I see. Or the B from room 23. Bring her in.
Yeah.
She's in the B house. Okay, great.
And see, now this is the crossover event this is happening in what?
T is for Thanos. We'll get him in.
Yeah. 2014. Yeah, this is happening. Then this would way precede the MCU.
Oh yeah.
And then like you have this like huge like, because that's the one thing the MCU's not doing. They're not doing daily, like there's no Captain America daily vlogs. None of that's happening. So you have all of these stars intermingled together in one giant house in LA. And so many people are like online, they're buying their merch.
Yes.
They it's like, who's your favorite person in the house? Like, oh, my favorite person in the house is Professor Xavier. Like, I love him. He's my favorite one. X. He's the guy that I watch the most.
G is for Greta Thunberg. We bring her in.
Yeah, exactly. And like, we start getting all these like massive stars.
Yes.
And, that is honestly like that. Then, the show is less of a show and more of just like a cultural landmark.
We just need to get a season 2 on this. We don't need to. I mean, we can.
Honestly, we don't even need a season 2. We just need to get that
one episode.
Yeah, in is for Nick Cage.
And then that's
that one greenlit, that one filmed, that one gone, and then like the rest of the thing, the ball rolls.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's absolutely no stopping the train from then. It is like it's inevitable that once these characters get in the world with Nick Cage. First of all, Ben Fieldman and Kristen,
their names
whatever
are
her last
impossible.
name is.
Their names are absolutely impossible.
Yeah. Once they kind of take on this identity, they are no longer Ben and Kristen. They are forever Andrew and Zelda.
They become
they
those
have
two
to be.
people. Zach, I love this idea. I love the multimedia. We can talk about magazines, we can talk about billboards, but I think we've got enough here. I can send over to my guys at NBC, and we can get season 2 or whatever we're calling this empire of A to Z going. So I will send that over to them. But thank you, thank you for your help on this one, and that concludes our segment of Script Doctor.
How's the patient, Doctor? He's gonna make it.
Yeah, so it's been. What do we do? What do we do after that? What do we do now?
I mean, like that's a good idea. Is like, what is like, what
We can't just go back to like, this was my week.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe. Like, because the show still is called Get Better.
That's true.
And how much are we willing to get away from that premise?
That's true.
And like what is the come down after a workout? What is our stretches that conclude this thing?
I don't know. That A to Z was produced by Rashida Jones. I just want to throw that out there.
Rashida Jones. Now, the thing that I just always love talking about Rashida Jones is that she is Quincy Jones's daughter.
Sure.
And that's incredible. That, I didn't know that until relatively recently. And like she did not once bank off of that, where she was like, hey, I'm Quincy Jones's daughter. You have to listen to me.
Right.
So, just proud of her.
She's great, honestly. I mean, maybe, producing, everybody makes mistakes as to what you throw millions of dollars into, but it's okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Maybe sometimes you back A to Z, sometimes you, you're an actress in Social Network, whatever. I'm gonna
and sometimes you're dating Ezra Keening, the guy from Vampire Weekend. Sometimes that happens.
Oh, yeah. Didn't she also date Frodo? She did. Actually, I'm not asking. She did. She dated Frodo.
Elijah Wood?
Yeah, she dated Elijah Wood.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that at all.
Well, the reason I know that, have you ever seen Billy on the Street?
Yes, I have.
She's on an episode of Billy on the Street, and he makes some joke about Elijah Wood or something, and she's like, ugh, and he's like, I don't know, he does his thing, and is like, oh, I'm so sorry, and it's like, oh, okay. I had to Google it. I was like, what? I don't understand what Elijah Wood has to do with Rashida Jones, and apparently they used to date. He gave her, how he gives like crazy prizes at the end of every game.
Mm-hmm.
He gave her like a mattress, and I don't know, made some joke about Elijah Wood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a very quirky picture of them holding hands. So yeah, it's confirmed. If you have a quirky picture of yourselves holding hands where you're on two different backgrounds, then yes, you did used to date.
Oh, is it like an e-news thing where it's like
It
when you
is it's a Pinterest thing apparently.
what
So
do you mean by two different backgrounds? I don't understand what that means.
so it's like they're holding. Oh my
Just
god.
describe. It's a visual medium, so just
Yeah. Okay, so she is in front of one background,
Okay.
and it's just like it's a silly wallpaper, and he is in front of another wallpaper that's completely different.
Yeah.
That's also like pretty eclectic and very Wes Anderson inspired.
they're in physical
And
space. They are in a room with two.
They're in a
I
physical yes, they're in a
see.
physical space with two different wallpapers, and their hands are where the wallpapers meet. But they're standing
I
like
get it.
far
Okay.
enough away from each other to where it's like they're staying an awkward distance apart to really put in the distance that they're having with these two wallpapers. It's cute, it's quirky. It is 2007 wrapped up in a picture. I don't think they used to date, bud.
You don't think Elijah Wood and Rashida Jones used to date?
No, I'm doing some research and it doesn't seem like they did.
You could bring this up with Billy on the street, but I'm pretty sure Elijah Wood and Rashida Jones used to date.
Like I'm looking it up and it just says like it just keeps. I wrote up Rashida Jones, Elijah Wood, and all that's coming up is a trailer from this movie called Celeste and Jesse Forever.
All right, now I'm Googling.
Great,
Did-
now we're just Googling. We're the Google podcast.
Did Elijah Wood dated? I need to learn how to read. I can't do that. But okay, then maybe it's not Frodo. It's the other guy. Is it Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire.
Did you really mess up Tobey Maguire and Elijah Wood?
Yeah, I
I
messed
thought that was,
up
I thought
Tobey
that, I thought
Maguire
that was
and
like I
Rashida
thought that was
Jones.
like a joke that people did.
No, I can't tell anybody apart. All celebrities look exactly the same to me. Like what is it?
Okay, yeah, this one's definitely confirmed. They are holding hands, but it's like not a cute picture.
not a
It's
perfect
like
wallpaper.
it's them walking.
I apologize to Rashida Jones.
Man,
and
you
Elijah
really
Wood.
I didn't know that people messed up Tobey Maguire and Elijah Wood. I thought that was just like a joke that people did.
Well, and the guy from that '70s show who was in Spider-Man 3. They're
You messed them up too?
they're all the exact same person to me.
No, they are not.
Yeah, I know.
They look so
I
different.
understand. Well, no, it's like Amy Adams and the other one I can't
Isla Fisher?
Isla Fisher, and also sometimes I get them mixed up with there's a third one who I don't. You see, that's the thing is I don't even know if there is a third actress.
It's what's her face? Bryce Dallas Howard.
Is it?
It's just like like red-haired ladies. The girl that was in Jurassic World. What's happening? You're right. After the NBC show, it really took down.
Yeah, well, I don't know because we don't have like a main segment to stitch everything together. Now, see, here we go. Here's the 4 pictures of these 4 ladies. Now there's 4 of them. See, honestly, I don't know. I couldn't tell you who any of these people are. I get all of them mixed up, 100%. I look at them and I say I can't tell them apart at all. I used to always get Jimmy Carter and Don Knotts mixed up too, where like if outside of the actual like Jimmy Carter in the Oval Office, if you showed me a picture or like Don Knotts dressed up like he's from Green Acres.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, those 2 people if you showed me a picture of them just like in normal clothes, I would not be able to tell you which one was Jimmy Carter and which was Don Knotts.
That is so specific because I think it's just like old looking. I guess I'm gonna look up Jimmy.
This is some sort of sickness that I have that I can't tell people apart at all. Like they all look exactly the same.
Nope. See, when I look up Jimmy Carter and Don Knotts, there's not even like an article that says like, yeah, right. Like we've all made this mistake. These guys look just the same.
I don't know, man. I'm just.
And I love, what situation are you in where like, that's like one of those, like when people say, would you like, it's one of those, would you rather questions. And it's like, would you rather this or every single baby looks like a muffin or something? You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's just like, okay, well, if every single baby looks like a muffin, then like, guess what? I'm not eating muffins anymore. And, or
Right.
I'll just use context clues.
Okay.
Like, I'll just be like, there's a muffin in there, but it's like, that is one of those where like, what situation would you be in to when are the Venn diagrams of Don Knotts and Jimmy Carter getting so close together that you have to be like, okay, who is this guy?
If I see a picture of either of them, I mean, again, outside of like, Jimmy Carter now looks different. I'm going to send you 2 photographs of Jimmy Carter and Don Knotts. I understand you will be able to tell who is who. But you can recognize that like these 2 people look alike.
Maybe can you like do a Photoshop thing where you kind of like shove their faces together into like one super face?
I think I can for the cover art of the episode.
Perfect. And now they'll have to listen to the entire episode to be like, all right, what's going on with this Jimmy Carter, Don Knotts?
All right, look at these
super
2
face.
people. All right, I understand they look different, but you can see how Jimmy Carter and Don Knotts look similar.
I just had to cycle down through all of the the Street Sharks and when we had a picture of James Bond dressed as an Asian man and he just got really intense eyebrows and that was it.
Well, did you see that right after that I sent you a picture of Mr. Bean?
Mr. Bean.
He looks so much like Mr. Bean. We didn't even talk about it.
All right, I'm waiting.
Did it?
No, the robot is.
Oh, there we go.
The robot has forsaken you. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Honestly,
those 2 people look alike.
You're right. Okay.
Jimmy Carter looks like Don Knotts. Anyway, it'll come up because I'll see a picture and be like, "Is that Jimmy Carter? Or is that Don?" Like,
okay, I guess that's I can see where you're coming from because usually when you see Don Knotts, I associate him solely as in that police officer uniform from the Andy Griffith Show, and he's always kind of going like, "Whoa," or like, like he's always making a face that's like bewildered.
Yes. Also, it has just occurred to me, whatever, it's a very internet-reliant show, but there are definitely listeners who have absolutely no idea who Don Knotts is. I'm not going to explain it. He's like, whatever, you'll figure it out. But it's just realized we've had like a 10-minute conversation about Don Knotts, and there are people who are like, I have no fucking clue who Don Knotts is.
I just said who Don Knotts was. He's the guy from the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah, I know, but well, whatever, yeah.
Whoa.
He's that guy.
He's
anyway, you can see how I wouldn't be able to tell these 2 people
I mean,
apart.
you're probably you may be at home, with your folks and ask them who Don Knotts is. They know who Don Knotts is. Sure. Because we have wasted so much of our time with knowing all things pop culture that we just have to know. We have to know who Don Knotts is.
Yeah, it was on VH1's I Love the 40s. Now, see, and confusingly, here's a picture of Don Knotts with Ronald Reagan. What do you even do with that? Oh, wait. No, oh my God, I'm an idiot. That's not a picture of Don Knotts with Ronald Reagan.
That is a picture of Eddie Murphy.
That is a picture of Don Knotts with his co-host from Green Acres, who I thought was Ronald Reagan.
Oh, no.
Hold on. All right, this is the last one. God, I'm stupid. I thought this is as everyone knows a picture of former President Jimmy Carter and former President Ronald Reagan, of course, and not co-stars.
This is actually this guy. I mean, from this picture, if you were to say that's Ronald Reagan, I feel like enough people would be like, who is this? Is that Ronald Reagan? Like they would think it is. Right. So maybe you've unearthed like a pretty big conspiracy theory here with like the Green Acres cast looking like, maybe they predicted Ronald Reagan. That may have been what they, were into, which would confirm the Illuminati. And
Andy Griffith. This is like the Weber Show / Cursed situation. Andy Griffith played Andy Taylor on the Andy Griffith Show. Andy Griffith is the name of the actor.
Yeah. So, just play Andy Griffith. Like maybe he was like a big time comedian.
Much like Steven Weber, the big time comedian of the Weber Show.
Yeah, the super famous comedian.
Okay, see, right? This has to be like a body swapping CIA operation that Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan look like Don Knotts and Andy Griffith.
Yeah, they were probably actors that played Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan, and then they did so well that they were like, let's just give these guys a show.
Look, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm looking at this photograph, and that is Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. All right.
All right.
See you. Bye forever.
See you. Bye forever.